So a Piagetian game, as Jordan Peterson says it, is, okay, so if two kids are playing, right, you can win the game. But if you win the game in a way that no one's willing to play with you in the future, then you lose all of the benefits of playing all the future games. So the strategy of winning at any cost is a winning strategy in that game, but you lose the entire iterated set of games with that person. Right? So it's win the battle, lose the war.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to come up with a solution. You have to come up with a strategy that not only has you win the game, but has you lose sometimes. So that people will keep playing with you, so that you can get more than the value of winning the game. And this is like, if we look at Finite and Infinite Games by James Carse, right? A finite game is played so you get the title of winner. An infinite game is played so that you get the joy of the continued play. So this is the Piagetian game in Carsian terms. Right? You have to play the game so that people will continue to play with you.
Totally.
Then it's not just that person. You have to play a game that allows you to play with all kinds of people, because each game that you can play with each of those people offers you value.
Right, totally.
And so you have to play a game that actually creates a social context in which you can play more games. And if you play games that make the social context stronger through time, now you've got this Piagetian game. And the Piagetian game acts as a selection pressure for the dominance hierarchy, which gets built into the ultimate player of the dominance hierarchy, namely Jesus, in his understanding. Like, Jesus is the ultimate player of the dominance hierarchy. He is the hero, or one of the ultimate heroes, and he is a pretty cool hero. Like, okay, if you play like Jesus, you're going to win a lot of dominance hierarchies. Right? You're going to play in such a way that you get to play with the same person over time, and you get to play with a lot of people, and you create a context in which people play with one another, because the more people play with one another, the more they have to bring to you in their games. And this is like the market system. The more you allow freedom and people get to trade according to their desires, they trade with the people with whom they can play iterated games through time. The market is an iterated game across players. It's a natural Piagetian game. Now, can it spin out of control? Of course. Right? Can you stop it? Right? Because iterative organic games grow around whatever structures you put in place. But that process, he's saying that the ultimate story of how to navigate status hierarchies or dominance hierarchies or social hierarchies. That the nature, the feedback mechanisms of the Piagetian game hypothesis, that framework, explains how we build up heroes. And those heroes get encoded into the stories, and those stories get encoded into our psyche. So this Piagetian game serves as kind of a pressure in natural selection, where the people whose habits, whose character, whose style of play allows them to play iterated games with the same people, iterated games across people, games in which other people play with people such that when they come to your game, they bring more resources. Right? When you take those three conditions, they serve as a selection pressure for an optimal player. That optimal player gets brought into stories of heroes. Those heroes get selected for over time until you get an ultimate hero, such as Jesus Christ, such as Buddha, such as Luke Skywalker, such as Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? So that ultimate hero, Jordan Peterson calls that religious.
It's kind of problematic a little bit.
But that process is completely secular. The Piagetian game is a secular explanation for morals, which is what Piaget said he wanted to do. And Jordan Peterson says Piaget was attempting to create a secular basis for morality.
Yeah.
He did such a good job that whenever I get pressed, I use Piaget's
Yeah.
secular morality explanation
Yeah.
to justify my, quote, religious thing.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
have Sam Harris ask him that question.
Right.
Sam Harris is basically saying, look, if we look at morality, we can look at Piagetian games.
Right. Totally.
Right?
Totally.
Why do we want to have more games?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And Sam Harris puts it like, he says, okay, if you want to look for the ultimate good, if we want to say that there is a natural good in the universe, which does not come from God, but can be rationally explicated and articulated from analyzing actual lived experience,
Yep.
he says defining the good is difficult,
Yep.
but defining bad is relatively easy.
Yeah. That's what Harris says that?
Harris says that. And he offers 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
He says it's the most suffering for the greatest number of creatures for the longest period of time.
Yeah.
That's bad. If you imagine horrible suffering for all living beings throughout time, that's the worst possible outcome.
Right. Right.
In comparison to the worst possible outcome, anything with less suffering for less creatures over less period of time is relatively better.
Right. 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 Right.
Great. That's all the framework we need to create a secular morality.
Totally.
And that is essentially why a Piagetian game works.